Lisa's away, so what do? Leave the studio, come in to cook in my kitchen. I do enjoy cooking in my kitchen. In fact, I get inspired at night. I'll think about what's in the fridge and what can I do quick and easy. We were watching Virgin River, and I thought about this bag of shrimp that Lisa had bought, this frozen shrimp, and she knows I don't like buying frozen stuff if I can help it. And it's supposedly cooked, deveined and cooked. And you all know, if you watch my show, that I'm really picky when it comes to shrimp. And that inside vein, most people don't take that out. However, I always do. Even with this cooked, well, it is cooked, it's steamed and frozen. They don't take that vein out. They cook it with that inside vein, so I remove that thing. So last night I jumped up with and made a cocktail sauce. However, I served it, I made it hot in the pan, and I put the shrimp in it and let it cook for 3 or 4 minutes so that flavors would kind of permeate. It was so good. I'm starting to drool now just thinking about it. So I'll have a sip of vino while we're talking about it. I've got some of that Catherine Chardonnay still left over, and we'll use it in our recipe today. And this this sauce that we're going to make, this shrimp sauce, it's great hot, and it can cool down. Then you can serve it as a cocktail sauce. So the ingredients to make our shrimp cocktail sauce, hot cocktail sauce. I was telling Lisa, not spicy hot, temperature hot. An onion from the backyard, from the garden, my fresh market, I call it. I've got tomatoes. I've got 2 types of tomatoes, those beautiful French heirlooms, and this one is really ripe, so it's nice and soft. I might just slice it up instead of dicing it. Then I've got a few more of the little small ones. The early girl, I'll remove that little spot out of that before putting it in the pan, and we'll remove the stems. Now behind me, olive oil. I've got olive oil here. I already have some in the pan behind me. And it's interesting because I'm in the bigger kitchen. I can get different types of shots. So I'm trying out a new shot here with my number 2, or is it my 3rd camera. I'm getting a shot in so you can see the ingredients here, or as the boys would say, ingredients. Here's the pan with the olive oil already in it. And once we start slicing the onions, we'll turn that on to heat it up. A little, some spices I have. I've got ketchup. That's gonna, I love using that ketchup because it helps to tame that acid. I've got some tomato, those beautiful Marciano tomato paste, some garlic. I've got this is Mexicano blend that I've fallen in love with. Then oregano. I'm going to skip over that for a second. I'm going to use some parsley flakes. Then we've got a little bit of Worcestershire, that Marsala wine. I'm really starting to like that in my sauces. There's the Chardonnay. I'm going to use some butter to give it a creamier texture. And then the horseradish root. This is and we'll add that in to really bring it together. So why don't we get started? Let's see if I can do this. Well, when I start to edit, it might be easier to have different cuts. So we're going to reset, and we'll start to make our shrimp cocktail sauce. Peace. You know what to do next. Spread love. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. May not be Friday when you're watching this, but it's Friday when I'm
Emoji C here. Tomatoes. Is it a fruit or a vegetable? Well, it's a fruit because it is formed from a flower and it contains seeds. However, it's also a vegetable because the Supreme Court back in 1893 determined it should be a vegetable because of its culinary applications. Peace, spread love, eat a tomato.
Welcome back to my kitchen. And we're going to start just by chopping this onion up. I'm going to turn the olive oil on. Not the olive oil, I'm going to turn the burner on to heat the olive oil while we get our onions chopped up. First, I love these onions from the backyard. Boom, right through the middle. And I even use the stem or where I cut the root, I should say, root off of it. It's really, these taste so good. And I'm going to cut the green part up and use it at the very end as well. So we'll get this in the pan once it gets nice and hot. Do I talk too much when I'm cooking? I love talking and cooking and talking. Which do I like the best? Cooking. It's funny, this morning when we were out in the garden, when I was doing the transplanting the tomatoes, and I think I mentioned how much I love growing food. I do, and I love cooking food. I love serving people. It's just, wow. And I hope it comes through in the show here. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoy trying to put it together. I'm going to save that. I'll put those in at the very end. I'll chop those up and use them at the very end. Our oil should be nice and hot. Oh, I hear it popping. Popping, crackling, snap, crackling, popping. All right, so we're going to add the oil, the onions to the oil. Yeah, baby. I'm making a much larger batch today than I did last night. I think I only used 4 shrimp last night. And we're going to let that cook. And, you know, I don't have to watch this because I'm here and I can hear it. You know, I'm right on top of it so I can hear it. And just, it's something beautiful about that process, okay? So now I've got my tomatoes, and I think I'm just going to, I'm just going to cut these. I don't have to dice them or anything because this one is so ripe that I think it's just going to, look, isn't that beautiful? Can you see that at home? Wow. Isn't that a gorgeous tomato? This looks like the brandy wine. It's one of those heirlooms. Like I said, these seeds are cousins to the ones in France. These are not the ones I brought from France. Oink, oink. These tomatoes. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? Pomme de terre. I'm going to move that out of the way. And again, I'm not going to dice it. I'm just cutting them up. So when we put them in the pan, they will break down easily. Oh, and they smell so good.
Tomatoes are loaded with vitamins and minerals, potassium,
right
phosphorus, great
I may
amount
have
of
too
vitamin
much,
A and
too
C.
many tomatoes.
Eat a tomato.
No, never too many, right? We just let them cook down. All right, we're going to look at our onions right quick. I'm going to go over my shoulder and toss them a bit. Again, I'm going to cut that stem. I'm not going to use the stem, that little portion, the core, I should say. The stem in. Oh, looky, looky, looky. Flip it, flip it, flip it good. Now, what we're doing here, we're not going to burn these onions. We're going to let them caramelize. The caramelization. Woo! Say that 5 times. Jump up and turn around and do it again. Yeah, baby. Now, there's that little spot. We're going to cut that out. Let's see how deep it runs in this tomato. Oh, nothing at all. Look at that. You see that? We're going to discard that. You see those 2 things there? Those are seeds. I could take those and dry them and plant them next season. And I usually try to find one of my best tomatoes is what I'll take my seeds for next year's crop for. And I think I was showing you, like this morning when we were talking about all the tomatoes that I'm moving around, those were all plants started from my seeds. Now I'm going to, oh, that looks so good. Let's go ahead and add our tomatoes next. Excuse me. Now, and the one thing I love about the cutting board with the ridges in it, all those juices stay right there. See how that comes down to the end of the cutting board? Yep. Now, looking good. We're going to add some of that, I'm going to add some white wine to this right now because I want it to start to help to release the juices. Or you can add a little salt to that. I think I've shared with you all in the past that my kitchen, not my kitchen, my stove kind of slopes. So when we get the new stove in, I am going to make sure that if Rob does the work or Rory do the work, we're going to level this sucker off, okay? Because it is interesting. That makes the hot spot in my on my stovetop. Okay, now I'm going to reach over, grab the white wine. Add about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to reduce this heat. There we go. Let this just cook down. I love those colors. The tomatoes, the onions. Now, a couple of days ago, I was talking about the shallot. Shallots are beautiful. It's like a cross between an onion and garlic. And the flavor is a little more delicate than garlic and a little stronger than some onions, okay? Remember, there's so many onions out there, and I love working with them and cooking with them. Notice I've got my shrimp on ice before we cook it. That way we make sure it stays nice and safe. We don't want things to, we don't want things to lose their the correct temperature, and we don't want anyone to get sick. So that ice helps to keep them nice and cold. I'm going to go ahead and slice these onions up so they'll be ready to go in. And those are just going to add some color. Well, they add flavor as well. When I was cutting these out in the yard, when I pulled it, I think I showed you a clip of that onion when I brought it up. It had the root ball and that beautiful green top. And that makes me think of my granddaddy so much, Granddaddy Curtis, W.H. Curtis Sr. And I used to love to have, on Sunday when Grandma would cook collard greens and we'd slice those onions to go in there. We serve them. We serve sliced tomatoes, onions, collard greens. Woo! Black-eyed peas. I'm going to go ahead and start to season this, the little Mexican blend. And this is by feel. I'm gonna. If I had to give you a measurement, I'd say, an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay. Same thing with the garlic. This little garlic spice blend. It's from the barbecue folks. And I like this. I'm going to share with you guys where I got this. The dollar store. At the dollar store. $1. And a lot of times they have all the spices. I'll make my little blends there. So, okay. And these days when prices are getting high, again, about 1/8 or less of a teaspoon. Oregano. I love oregano. This is a dry oregano. Like I said the other day, my oregano just, it's not, the basil's doing great, my thyme's doing great, my chervil's doing well. I've got incredible tarragon, but for some reason oregano just doesn't seem to want to work magic for me. I'm going to go around the camera and grab my little spoon. Let's see, I've got a collection of tiny spoons, and they're great for getting into like, look at that. These are my tiny spoons, and they're great for getting into small jars. Let me show you like this. I'll show you. Like here we go with the horseradish. I can take something like that and you get right down the horseradish. So my tiny spoon collection. So if the kids ever have little girls, so I become a granddaddy of girls, well, even Graham and I, we can have a tea party and I'll have spoons. So hey, don't want to say it's just for girls. Tea parties are for everyone, okay? Now, I'm going to add my some tomato paste along with, I say that's about 1/2 teaspoon tomato paste. And we do not want to burn, so it's starting to look really good here. Mix that up really well. Let's add the marsala and the Worcestershire goes in. About 2 tablespoons there. It's so funny. I think I've shared with you all that only time I really cook with a recipe, well, if I'm baking or when I'm writing cookbooks, I really write everything down. So last night when I did this, well, last 2 nights I made dishes at night. And Lisa goes, well, can you do the same thing tomorrow? Because I really want that same taste. I say, yeah, baby, I can do that. Now, I'm going to grab the ketchup. That'll go in. Oh, I'm going to get this really lower, though. That's cooking a little faster than I wanted to. There we go. Just wanted to kind of, and we'll add that ketchup in there. You like that little container? Yeah. That's just for TV. All right. I'm not going to add any butter yet. Put this out of the way. Yeah. All right, let's get the Worcestershire in there. It's almost time to put our, add the shrimp. Shrimp and the horseradish. Now this is an organic Worcestershire. I've always loved my Lea and Perron. This one though is, I got this when we were down in Palm Springs. It's a little thicker and I like the way it kind of goes in. So, hey, I love my Lea and Perron, but this is, however, this is pretty cool. Okay, there we go. Mix that in. Look how the color's starting to change. Isn't it starting to look more like the cocktail sauce that you're used to? I shouldn't say that you're used to. I mean, like it's like commercial cocktail sauce. So far, I haven't added any extra olive oil either. So, all right, now, here with my little tiny spoon. And the horseradish is what gives it that kick. I'm going to raise the temp again. And we're going to add a little more. There we go. Add a little more vino, a little more wine. And I'll add my parsley flakes along with our, there we go. Oh, look at that. There we go. I'm going to grab some butter, get a pat of butter here. Pardon me. Are you enjoying these new shots that I've come up with? The butter there. I'm going to add, let's say, about 2 tablespoons. Whoops, don't you spill that wine. When you spill it, you have to stop drinking it because that means you may have had too much. And I have only had a sip. Okay, that's about a good pad. So that's, there we go, we'll add that. That mix in. Gonna add a little bit of the garlic powder. Garlic salt, here we go. I'm going to add my shrimp now. Just in the ice until it goes into the heat, okay? And I'm going to notice I just kind of shake the water off. And yes, you can do this with raw shrimp. In fact, I bet it's going to be better when I do it with raw shrimp. Again, I just wanted to use up that the shrimp that Lisa had in the freezer. I think I've got about maybe 7 or 8 more pieces of this. So by the time she comes home, I'll probably cook the rest of it.
Emoji C here,
to eat all
prawns and
this
shrimp. Now, scientifically, they are different. However, around the world, the term is used interchangeably. Shrimp and prawn are the same thing. They come from 2 different branches of the crustacean family tree. Okay, so know that. I'll teach you.
Have trouble getting that seafood smell off your fingers or off your hands, just grab some lemon, fresh lemon or lime, and squeeze that onto your hands, and that will help to rid your fingers of that smell. Rid your hands of that smell. All right, we're going to add those green onions. We're going to allow this to cook for about 7 or 8 minutes. We'll add our parsley flakes. We will come back up. We'll come back after it's cooked a bit, and we'll be ready to serve it up. All right, y'all, parsley flakes. And we can save these. And and add it some on our serving dish as well when we get ready to plate it up, okay? Peace. I've tidied up the kitchen a little bit. And the shrimp has reduced. And in your absence, well, during the break there, during the reset, I squeezed a little lime juice in and I checked the seasoning. It was great. I added another little spoon of my little tiny spoon of horseradish. And I added more wine to my glass. Chardonnay, that Chardonnay's good. Okay, it's looking quite nice, everyone. I've allowed it to reduce. I think it's time to taste. We're gonna serve this up hot, and as I said earlier, though, this is also fabulous cold. What do you think at home? Smells so good in my kitchen. Get in my kitchen. I don't have my little silicone trivets from out in the studio, so I'm going to use a couple of traditional type trivets. And I'll put a little bit on the bottom of the plate. Got some lime there beside it. A couple of shrimp here. All right, shall we taste? Well, before we serve that, we have to clean this plate up. Can't send that out of the kitchen like that. Okay, what do you think, huh? Bon appetit. Let's taste our shrimp. Squeeze a little more lime over that. I'm using lime because that's what my lime tree is producing right now. My lemon tree, I've got some lemons on it. However, nothing has gotten ripe yet, so. My mouth is watering. This is our hot shrimp cocktail sauce. I've got to serve this for Dr. Madeline Peters. She would love this. All right, everyone. Peace. Hope you have a great day wherever you are. It's Friday here. And I love to say to people, have a wonder-filled weekend. All right, I'm Curtis. See you soon. Spread love. My potato crop turned out really good this year, so I'm going to take some of the better potatoes that I had, and I'm going to seed those. So I've already planted one batch into a pot, and I've taken this little bed that we cut down, and I'm going to make these 3 beds, mostly potato, herb, and lettuce gardens. They don't get as much sun, so it's not bright, hot sun over here, which I think the lettuce will do well. These I just pulled up this morning. That's kind of a purple potato there. You can see real close there. I just pulled those up. And I may, plant those smaller ones and let them grow. But here, what I'm doing is just taking old milk crates and I put some soil on the bottom. Then we just plant our spuds. And as they start to sprout, I'll cover with more dirt. And then we can, have potatoes. These potatoes will be ready in the fall. Okay, y'all. Spread love. Okay, let's see if we can come in and get a better close-up of that. As I said earlier, I've got the milk crate. We planted that up. And then I went ahead and decided on the sides I'll plant the other spuds, some more the finished type, the yellow potatoes, Yukon Gold, whatever name you can find them market under, on both sides. And then I put some red ones here. Again, I want to keep things segregated so when it comes harvest time, I'll know what's what, okay? And the purple potatoes that we harvested earlier, isn't that gorgeous? What I'm going to do is I'll remove the small ones like this, get rid of the soil, clean these up, and go in and cook those tonight or tomorrow, and I can replant these. All right? Peace. All right, now as you can see, I've got all the potatoes covered over. I didn't fill it all the way to the top because I'm going to come back in and layer that with soil as they start to sprout. Look at this, August 1, we're getting rain in California. I don't have to water today. There's nothing like a good watering from the heavens above. Come on, rain all day. Come on, rain, rain, rain. To my left
is the Marriott Resort and Spa, Waikiki. That's where Lisa and I have been staying this week. I'm going to take you inside to meet an incredible chef. We might do a hula dance or two. And who knows, I might even try to swallow fire. No, I'm not going to try to do the fire dance. All right, y'all, so we're in Hawaii having the best time. Aloha means hello. It can also mean goodbye. And also, I love you. So aloha from the island of Oahu, the district of Waikiki, the beach, baby. Let's go cook. Spread love. Hey y'all, it's me, Chef Curtis, with my new friend, Chef
Nuno. How are you?
Nuno. Now, Chef, thanks for inviting us into your kitchen. I'm telling you, y'all, I get chicken skin because I'm with a brother here. Portuguese background?
Portuguese background, yeah. I'm originally from the Azores, San Miguel. Moved to Boston, grew up there with my family. So
Wow.
I moved over when I was like 5 years old. One of 11. So I grew up cooking with my mom and my dad.
Slow down, time out, yo. Did y'all hear what he said? 1 of 11. I don't have enough fingers to do that. All right, Chef, put one more finger up for us. Okay, so that's
me.
11.
That was me.
Where do you fall in that line?
I'm the baby.
The baby? Oh my goodness.
Save the best for last.
Oh, okay. Either save the best for last, or like in my case, they threw me out with the. No, I'm totally kidding. Mom was great. Yeah. So, Chef, we are at this beautiful resort.
Yep.
Would you name it to the folks out there?
Yeah, this is a Marionette Resort Spa in Waikiki. So we're located right on Kalakaua Avenue, right across the street from Queen's Break, which is the surf break. So that's why
That's
the
the restaurant
Yes.
name. Ah!
So that ties it in.
Well, you got your gloves on. So. Waikiki, photographs circa 1900. Wow, one of those great old surfers. Now this plaque stands at the corner of, well, right at the end of the Queen's Break. And it says Waikiki means sprouting water because it was a vast marshland fed by many streams. You're in fact standing on what was the mouth of an old stream, and I can't pronounce that. I better get my friend Will Komura to pronounce that for me. From the ancient times, Waikiki has been a popular surfing spot, which is one of the reasons why the chiefs made their homes and headquarters here for hundreds of years. This is the land of kings and queens, thus the name Queen's Break outside. I just absolutely love this spot. Now, I'm going to left Massachusetts. How'd you end up in Hawaii, bro? Tell the truth now.
My wife, I was lucky.
You followed a beautiful,
Yeah.
it's a wahine, that's a one. Is wahine, is that the correct term?
Wahine, yeah.
He followed a beautiful wahine to Waikiki. So the thing that I'm looking at the resort, things that we can do, the things that the resort offers. And I saw the hula lessons I took yesterday,
cool.
right? And then I see poke. They're gonna teach us how to make poke. So I figured go right to the source. Now, Chef, what is poke?
Poke, it's very, poke just means cubed.
Really?
Anything cubed. So everybody relates poke to ahi because we have the biggest ahi supplier around and everything. And that's really traditional to the Hawaiian culture because they went out and caught the ahi, they bring it in, they dice it up, and that became the poke.
So poke. Now, all right, y'all, did my head just blow up? Because, okay, I always thought poke was just a fish dish, but poke is a term like mise en place.
Yep.
It just means to cube. I love that. Not yet. We're going Sunday night. Have you been yet? How was it? Where you guys from? The city or Long Island? Yeah. Years ago when I lived in New York, that's what I had here. With my fiance, she moved out to California 2 years ago. Well, I drug her out there.